During an emergency, communication is key, but many areas in northern BC, the Yukon, and Northwest Territories were left in the dark over the weekend, as internet and phone services were disrupted due to a raging wildfire.
Because they all rely on fiber optic lines for that service. And when wildfires roll across them, they can basically just turn that into a melted mess.
Last summer, cabin radio in Yellowknife was a lifeline for people impacted by wildfires. They provided critical, sometimes life-saving information. But as an internet radio station, they too were cut off from the rest of the world.
It's extremely frustrating, of course, when you're trying to provide people a service over the internet and they don't have the internet to access that in a crisis.
Williams says cabin radio has been applying for an FM license now for 5 years, saying the severity of the wildfires last summer is exactly why they need the ability to get information out to those impacted.
When everything else goes down, FM radio is still really valuable and can carry on operating on a local basis, even when you don't have the internet and you don't have phone.
A government spokesperson for the Yukon warned of possible future disruptions as wildfires continue burning.
That's why emergency preparedness, including knowing what your risks are in your community, are so important.
Although a radio might feel like an ancient piece of technology, this disaster and emergency management instructor at NAIT says it could be your only way to receive critical information.
So even if if your phone is down, you can still get those alerts through a radio. That doesn't require you to get plugged in, knowing what your evacuation routes could be.
Despite not being able to readily get information out to the community this weekend, Cabin Radio says they partnered with local community-run radio stations to share wildfire updates.
So we were sending audio to them through the weekend using a Starlink so that they could run that over to the radio station, put it on the air and broadcast it locally.
In Edmonton, Laura Krause, City News.